What's up, guys? So today we have obviously Abraham, we have Shema. Shema's actually our editor. You probably see him in other videos. He's usually behind the computer making these videos a reality, but today he's gonna join us. The video that we're reacting to is Alex Hormozi. Obviously you know Alex pretty well. You knew him way before a lot of people knew him.
Yep, I was one of the original people the first year he started Gym Launch. I bought the program. I had the program for 2 or 3 years and ended up spending about $150,000 with him on that program. And the first year or two I was in there, nobody knew who he was, but then people started, he made these books, he started doing these big conferences. Yeah. Before you know it, now he's blown up.
Shit, so you're one of the reasons why he became worth $100 million.
I got a little part of it. Yeah.
This video's topic is about mentors. I thought it would be an interesting dynamic because like you're a mentor to me, like a huge one in my life, and I think to Shema as well. So I think it's a kind of interesting like dynamic that we can kind of add into it. So if you want, just go ahead and start the video and see what we think.
I've had a lot of mentors in my career. Many of them were paid, a few of them were free. The point of a good teacher is that the student does pass the teacher.
A lot of people pass their mentors in certain aspects of what they went to learn. I know like when I was in Alex's program, there were, hundreds of people and eventually thousands of people. A lot of the people in the program with me actually did stuff that like blew Alex's mind, and Alex took their stuff and put it in his program, and without all the students, mentor never would have gotten as big.
Most people who are winners are competitive. It's just like who you are, right? You want to win, you want to beat everybody, because that's part of the competitive drive.
You got to have that drive to want to get better. You can learn as much as someone teaches you, but you got to have that drive, and you got to actually do stuff and move forward. A lot of people that are in mentorships that I'm in end up doing really, really well, and a lot of people don't do crap and basically wasted all their money. The only difference is really that some people took the action and some people really, really wanted it, had a big why, and that's why they did it.
When you get to algebra, you don't think, man, my arithmetic teacher was a idiot. I can't believe they didn't teach me this stuff. It's like, dude, you weren't ready. And you had to have the arithmetic in order to get to the multiplication. And it's not that that teacher was an idiot, it's that that was the sequence. Earlier on in my career, I definitely did the other way. This guy didn't know anything, this guy is the guy. Rather than seeing it like you would see any other thing that you'd have in school.
Alex spoke to like, he kind of did shit on his teachers. Like he looked back and be like, man, that person didn't know shit because now I know what I know. Did you ever fall into that pitfall? Because
all the time. I look back at most of the teachers I've ever had in school and I'm like, wow, I learned from these people. Like these people don't know crap. A lot of teachers that I had back in the day, when we have conversations now, I'm teaching them everything. They're like, wow, I didn't know you know this. But with this, they're really, really good at specific things. I needed to know that stuff before I can get to, the higher level stuff. So without learning that stuff from them, I never would have learned the other stuff.
I know that I've passed a lot of the mentors that I've had in my career in terms of financials, etc. Earlier on, used to think that made me better than them. As I've had a couple more years and some more scars, I've realized something different, which is that I was only able to get better than them because they gave me the head start. Step on my shoulder, you can reach that next branch.
He, surpassed a lot of his mentors. What he's saying is he used to be like, well, wow, why did I learn from these people and I'm smarter than them? He thought about it. He's like, look, if I never learned from them, I never would have got that head start and got to where I'm at. So like I needed those people. There's a lot of mentors that I had throughout my lifetime that I've surpassed them in all kinds of ways, but I look back and I'm always going to respect them. I'm always going to be like, wow, they're the ones that taught me what I know. So without them, I don't know if I would have been where I'm at today because I would have had to learn that my own way, or from someone else. It might not have been as good as them or not been able to teach me as well.
One of the ways I kind of think about it is like, you didn't have access to your, 47-year-old version of yourself when you were 20.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were lucky enough to have you.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't get way past me by the time you're 47, then there's something wrong with you.
How does that does that give you any weight of like, that there's people watching you and people following what you're doing? Or
I just do what I think is best. There's no weight. Like, people that want to learn and want to get better and better themselves, they're going to take my advice and use it to do better. And then there's people that are just going to listen and not do anything. And then there's going to be haters that listen and, say all kinds of stupid shit, either because they're jealous or because they just don't want to better themselves,
Get really old and then you're going to die. As you're getting older, there are going to be people who are younger who had a head start. And as long as the next guy honors the fact that that guy died on the battlefield to give him these lessons and come back, and they have to recognize that they're going to die on the battlefield too for the next generation to pass them, they have it easier than us. That's the point of progress.
50, 60 years ago, the top jiu-jitsu guys, the original Gracies, they were known as the best people and no one could do crap to them. They were beating everyone. If they were going against the good people now, they'd get demolished. Like the best people today would smash the best people. It's not that they're better than the people from before, it's that they've learned from all the people's mistakes in the force. They never saw how they did it and they didn't, they never would have got to where they're gotten. Without the original people that made the base, the people now would never be as good. It's the same thing in business.
My point is not to beat the progeny. My point is to forge as far as I can, look back and be like, hey, watch out for that hole, watch out for that rock, keep going, keep going. They move through the path that we tread 3 times faster than we did because we already cleared all the trees. They get to the next non-clearing and they have to start hacking away and hacking away and hacking away to forge the next path. And then they become the mentors, turn around, and the next generation moves 6 times as fast to cover my distance and their distance.
Someone asked, like, how many millionaires have you made? And there's like a list of people that you've helped throughout, you know, the way that have become super successful because of the things that you've taught them or the business you've done with them. How much of your fulfillment comes from seeing that around your journey? Like, how much of it is monetary and then how much of it is like, man, I've impacted a lot of people's lives?
If you talk to anyone that's ever taught anybody anything, some of the really, really cool part about teaching people is seeing people take your knowledge and being able to do incredible things with it. I would say, you know, half of it's the money, half of it's like seeing all these people progress. You know, you end up doing stuff with them and, you know, you better each other's life.
There's a 20-year-old, it might be you who's watching this, and you've got me. That's the point. I'm still gonna be hustling and trying to beat you. Don't get me wrong. When I see guys who are in their 60s, I'm like, man, by the time I'm 60, I'm gonna be 10 times as wealthy as them. 10 times the real estate, I have 10 times the, yeah.
I feel the same way. When I look at people older than me or even younger than me and they're doing a lot better, I'm very like impressed and I'm happy for them. But that drives me more to be like, look, if they can do it, I could do it. I want to be at, you know, at that level. I want to keep doing better. So that's like the healthy way to look at people that are doing better than you. You know, take it in a good way and be like, look, that's the drive. I know I can do it because you can do it.
How do you feel about people that are younger mentoring you?
I don't care how old somebody is. I mean, look, if there's a million things to know in the world, I know like 1 out of a million. Everybody knows something different. Sometimes even like little kids, you know, they'll teach something and then you learn something from teenagers, you learn something from people in your 20s. You can learn something from anybody. There's nobody in this world that doesn't know something more than you know. So you could definitely learn from anybody.
If this video changed your mind about some of the shit talking that you've done to a teacher or to a mentor who was earlier on in your career, shoot that guy a text and be like, hey, like, respect, I appreciate you. I can't tell you, one, how much it means to the mentor when they get that text.
When you're helping somebody and all of a sudden like you get like these messages, man, I just did this deal or I just made this relationship work. When they tell you all these things, it's like, cool, you know, I helped them be able to do it. That really makes you want to keep going, you know, even further and help more people because how many more people can you affect that way? So Alex, what I would say is, look, I'm probably the most successful person that started in your program. I think it would be really, really cool to do a video together and talk about what I learned from you and what I did with your knowledge and how I grew these gyms. When you first started, you were doing, you know, just gym launch and gym stuff, and now you're into acquisition. Well, I've been doing acquisition my whole life, and now you're doing it, which is super cool. I think there's like a lot of cool things that we could collaborate with. Hopefully one day we'll get to meet again and talk.
I think that kind of speaks to this whole video because like at the time when Alex did gym launch, like right in the beginning, you know, Alex was like self-admittedly struggling, kind of like, you know, lived in his car for a bit, lived with his wife's parents for a bit. So like I know he had a lot of struggles and you were relatively successful at that time.
By the time I joined Alex's program, I already made tens and tens of millions of dollars. My gyms were struggling a lot when I bought his program. That's why I bought it. And now, you know, I have, you know, some of the most amazing profitable gyms, and obviously it's because of his program.
I think everything can kind of tie into like ego getting in the way of people. Like sometimes I feel like if you're prideful and you feel like you know everything that anyone has to offer, you can't really like extract that value. Like had you seen Alex and been like, what does this 20-year-old something know that's homeless? Like if you'd done that, your gyms wouldn't have been as successful as they are.
Alex had a program that work. Honestly, when I bought his program, I was like, this is full of shit. I was gonna buy it. It's just another scam, whatever. Literally within the first couple weeks, we just had tons of people coming in the gym. I was like, what the f? How did that work?
For those people that you're younger than, those older mentors that you already had, how much do you think they extracted from you? And have you seen them grow even more successful?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if you're younger than me, the same age as me, older than me. I mean, I'm gonna teach you stuff and you're gonna learn because, you know, the stuff that I know, I really know really well. And if somebody wants to learn how to do well in whether it's business or real estate or whatever it is, or just in life in general, I mean, I could definitely, you know, get you there. So, you know, most of the people that I teach and I help them, they actually help me as well. I help them better their life, they help me better their life. So, you know, to me, it's like, it's a cool, you know, collab that we help each other.
First time I came in here, the first thing you said to me was that we're partners and stuff like that. So it was really dope rather than, you know, someone being like, hey, like I'm your boss. It's like, no, I'm your partner.
I never liked it. I never liked when someone was like, oh, you know, I'm your boss, I do this. And, you know, it just sounds demeaning and bad. So I never use that word. I never use that because I just don't like it when people use it with me.
All right, guys. Well, if you want to see more videos like this, where it's me, Shema, and Abraham talking, like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what other videos you want to react to in the future. All right.